things in my home, but instead I'm getting up and I'm taking my authority and speaking this stuff till it comes to life. That's what I'm doing. I'm speaking it until it comes to life. Until it comes in the real. I'm going to keep speaking it. Until I learn how to be committed, a committed mother. Committed to my goals. Then I'll commit to other things. Because a lot of time women just forget about themselves and think that they can love somebody else and they're not ready. They're not ready because they have not committed to doing the things that they need to do in order to build their internal self up. They're not committed. So some of the ways that you can start being consistent and being committed is to start out with small actions. Listen, you're not going to know the whole Bible in one day. Don't try to read it all in one day. Don't try to clean up everything in your house all in one day. Get stressed out. Get discouraged because you don't understand something. Don't try to do it all in one day. Instead, start with small steps and small actions. Start encouraging yourself, little bit at a time. Stay committed to encouraging yourself. The last 4 years, I woke up every day, even to this day. I spent these last 4 years encouraging myself, waking up telling myself every morning what I was capable of doing, waking up praying to God every morning. It became my life. It wasn't just a form of that I heard Joyce Meyer say do or I heard T.D. Jakes say do. I felt that thing in the spirit, and I felt my life change because I changed the way I thought about things. I changed what I took in. I changed the environment I was around that was influencing me to want to, keep up with everybody else, to conform to what everybody else was doing. And we do that. We do that. We easily get lost among the transactions, going from different years, different people to people, years to years. We get lost in that transaction. So you have to learn how to encourage yourself. And I had to learn how to be bold. I was bold as, a street fighter and a bootlegger, yeah. But I had never been bold for Christ or bold for just Jamie. I had never been just bold for me. So I learned how to take what I was doing on the inside here and go private. I'd be private in public. Whatever I do at home, I could do in public. I was bold enough to encourage myself if I was standing in the grocery line and I felt like my head was about to hurt or anxiety was about to come on. I was bold enough to say, devil, you is a liar. Not today. Not today. You got to flee from him and resist in public and at home. We don't have a lot of people that have integrity. You can do one thing one place, but then as soon as other people come around, you change up. I've learned that changing like that wishy-washy, unstable stuff, you can't be doing that. You can't be doing that. If you want to have true, authentic power that God has given us and operate in it, you have to be one way, and that's God's way. Okay, so the next thing is reward yourself from time to time for your commitment. It is hard being committed. It is hard at times till you get used to it. And then when you get used to it, you don't want to really be used to it to where you become lazy. So every now and then when you get so far on your journey or so far down the road on your goals, go ahead and reward yourself. Take some people with you. Take those who really celebrate with you. Don't get with those who are just in it because you said, I'm going to pay for your lunch. I tell you what, tell them you want to go celebrate and see how they look when it comes down to saying, if y'all can pay your own way, if they lose their joy or that frown comes across their face for even a second, you might better think twice who you celebrating with. All right, y'all. And then another thing to do is you are responsible for what you repeatedly do. If you know that you are doing something that's going to be harmful to your mind or stop your progress, then you are responsible for it. Not the people who you said hurt you in the past. They're not responsible for it. What you do from this day on, you need to know that you are responsible for it. If you sleep all day and don't get a thing done, you are responsible for that. If you succeed in your goals sooner than later, you're responsible for that too. Reward yourself. It's a lot of good out here. You just have to learn how to get past that bad. And once you start taking the responsibility, that dominion for yourself, you're going to start seeing things differently, a whole lot differently. I know a lot of ladies are looking for relationships, and a lot of ladies are probably just really hope that I would talk about relationships all the time, and I do talk about relationships, but I want you to understand something. Before you can get into a relationship and have something really to come out of it and have a fruitful relationship, you got to understand why your other relationships didn't work. What part of it did you play? Because, look, a man don't do bad all by himself. He takes a woman with him. He don't do bad all by himself. He has a reason for why he does what he do. And sometimes us women are pushy. So my goal is to get you to build you up first, and then you can have all the relationships you want. Okay. So this is an assignment right here that I want you to do. Make a list of things that you know that you have authority over. Make a list of things that you know that you have authority over. And then once you do that, write out why do you think that you have that authority. Why? Because just face it, not a lot of us feel like we have authority. I remember when I first started doing radio, I didn't feel like I had a right to be at the Stellar Awards. I didn't feel like I had earned that type of right. So write down why do you feel. But now I think different. I feel now, God puts who he wants where he wants him. And if he say go, I'm out of here. All right, so that is, what was it? Okay. Write the things that you know that you have authority over. And I also want you to write on side of it, write the things that you want to learn how to take the authority over. What are some of the things that you want to start committing to? Write that out. That's going to help you get your direction right there. And, okay, let me see. Do I have anything else? And these are just something I want to tell you. Whenever you are setting your goals, make sure you stick to your main focus. Even whenever you're writing this authority sheet out, stick to the main things that you know is hindering you. And, a lot of times the main thing may be something small. It's not always the big stuff, y'all. It's not always the financial situation. A lot of people, the first thing they want to say is financial. But it's a reason why you got in that position. It's not just financial situations. It's how you think towards certain situations. How did you respond to certain situations? How do you manage your money? Do you know how to manage money? Do you know what a budget is? Do you know what you need to put first? What needs to be your priority? Making this list out is going to help you gain some sense of control of where you need to get committed at, where you need to stay committed. And if you are writing down anything about people, let me tell you something. Do not try to write down that you want to take authority and control over people, because you can't control people. You can't control others. That's just a form of witchcraft, period. Anytime that someone comes and tries to take control over you, that is a form of witchcraft. And I will be the first to say it. You see them when they hypnotize you because they want to control you, all that black magic stuff. No, that's witchcraft. And be committed to not rush into things. Learn how not to rush into things. You know, one thing about the science of persuasion, and now we didn't cover it four of them. The first one was reciprocity, the second one was scarcity, and now we've covered consistency, and also authority. But the one thing about it is, I think that when we learn something, if we use it, it will go a lot further than if we just learn something and then just stick it to the side. So be committed to whatever you learn, that you do apply it in your life. And that's not always easy. Sometimes you got to put up the sticky notes to remind you of what you learned. I had to do that for some time, some years. So just be mindful that you don't learn just so you can sit on the knowledge. You learn so you can go out and spread it to others. Whenever I first started learning the Bible, it took me a while before I really wanted to go spreading it to others, because I wasn't confident, because I didn't know, a lot of stuff. But now that I know God and I have a relationship with Him, I'm not perfect, but what I do know, I'm willing to go out and try and share. Well, not try, but I'm willing to go out and do and share with others what I do know. And I'm confident that in due time, the areas of my life that need, God works on us. Each area, He works on us. He will send situations, He'll allow situations to happen that will grow you in the faith. And I've had a lot of situations that have grew me in the faith. All right, so do anyone have any questions? Anybody got any questions? Okay, so there is no questions. We got a few more minutes left here. And I just want to tell the women out here, what you do now, what you say now, especially if you have children, guess what? You are influencing them. You are influencing your children. If you're sitting around crying because you can't get things done, you are influencing your children to grow up and cry and not try to work towards getting things done. If you are a type of person that likes to always get mad, have a short temper, and you like road rage and all that, guess what? You are influencing your children to be the same way. If you are the type of person who sits around and you hear a baby crying and you say, oh, God, I can't take that right there. Why are you crying? Why that baby crying? Stuff like that, guess what? You're going to see your children doing the same thing. Because everything you do in front of those kids is influencing them. It's shaping who they are growing up to be. Even the adults, when you allow yourself to sit around people, and y'all know I'm real about this, when you allow yourself to sit around people who are just really outspoken and do crazy things, next thing you know, they have influenced you to do crazy things. You're starting to talk like them. You're starting to act like them. If you watch a person's actions long enough, you will start trying to mimic them. So, these are all types of things that can influence you. Hate, anger, love, peace, patience. If a person sees that you have patience with another person, guess what? You're influencing patience. then maybe next time that person gets in an altercation or something, they'll have patience. You're at customer service. Instead of you cutting up and raising all kinds